My name is Andrew Warde. I'm a London Blue Badge guide. The talks we're doing today are about little areas of London that you can easily pass by and not notice. And I think that will perhaps be something that you might want to go and visit. The first place I want to talk about is a little garden in Seething Lane. That's just north of the Tower of London. It's a beautiful garden and it's recently been refurbished, so it does look even better than it used to. The garden has an older bust of Samuel Pepys there, and I'm sure many of you will know Samuel Pepys from his famous diary. Samuel Pepys had his office there and also he worked there, and this is where he wrote most of his diary entries. He was living there during the Great Fire of London, and although the fire didn't damage his house, it came very close, so he had all his furniture and belongings taken away, but he wasn't able to take all of it away, so he buried some of the official papers in the garden along with some bottles of wine and a cheese. So the paving stones through this garden have been illustrated with little snippets from his diary, and one of them shows a box with papers, wine and cheese in it. The other Samuel Pepys memento there that I find particularly interesting, there's lots of them, is that there's a very nice fountain which is designed in the shape of a 17th century inkwell, so a sort of reminder of the ink that Samuel Pepys would have used to write his diary. Seven Dials is an area just to the north of Covent Garden. It's got a lot of older buildings and it's a very nice shopping area. A lot of the smaller businesses that Covent Garden was famous for have started up there. The centre of Seven Dials has this sundials pillar where 6 roads meet, and it's a very pretty area. The buildings there date from the 1690s, but the sundial is really interesting. This was actually removed in the 18th century and then restored to its original design. It has this most beautiful sundial on the top with 6 faces, not 7 as you might expect. If you have very good eyesight, you can tell the time with them, but it's probably easier to look at your watch. The story is that the dial was first removed because it was demolished by the residents who thought there was treasure underneath it. I think this is a wholly bogus story, but it makes a great tale. My final pick is Craven Street, which is a little residential street running down from just near Trafalgar Square. You walk down there and it takes you back to the 17th century, 18th century houses. Some of them have been rebuilt, but some of them are genuinely old, with some interesting reminders of people who lived there. And the most interesting one, I think, is Benjamin Franklin, who had his lodgings there. That's in number 36. It's now called Franklin House, and you can go in to see what the house was like. The presentation there tells you about his life and the life of the people he lived with, the lodgers and the lodging house keeper, who he was very fond of. He was an extraordinary man because he was a printer. He was master of the Post in the United States after it had been well established, and he invented the glass harmonica. He studied the Gulf Stream, he invented the lightning rod, and he was mainly in London because he was representing the colonies in America. But unfortunately his efforts were all to nothing and he was required to leave, and then he became one of the founders of the United States. So a very interesting man from so many different aspects. London has so many areas that are well known, but in between those areas there are little alleyways, small squares, and many of them have fascinating history that, if you look carefully, you'll find more and more the more you look.